good and evil, because you have the good, all right, good doctrine, evil doctrine, right? You got good actions, you have evil actions. And it's the men of the Lord that's going to be able to discern all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai what's good, what's bad, right? And so it says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. But who are the ones that you're going to give heed to teach you? Well, it must be the true men of the Lord that the Most High God called, all right, raised up and sent, chose and sent. You see, again, we read that Revelation 14, where it says, no man was able to learn that song but the 144,000, right? So it says, you have need that one teach you again. Now, the teacher you must give heed to must be that of one of the called and chosen of the Most High God, which is one of the 144,000. Right, who has the ability to teach the 100% truth directly and correctly, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You must give heed to them. Because if you're giving heed to somebody else, well, you're giving heed to a blind leader. Right? You're giving heed to a blind leader. Because this is the first principles of the oracles of the Most High God. Right? That when you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. Why? Because what happened is we all were lied to, right, by our oppressors. Okay. And so now we need to be born again. And now instead of rolling with our oppressors' mindset, right, as opposed to rolling with a mindset of this world or leaning to our own understanding, nope, we got to rend our heart and not our garments. So we got to be born again, pour out all of what we thought we knew, right? And just like what Yoda say, you must unlearn what you have learned, right? And when you're born again, that means now you're a baby in the spirit. And if you're a baby in the spirit, just like, a baby physically must be taught by his parents. So a baby spiritually must be taught by parents. Who are the parents? The men of the Lord, all right, that came before you, those that the Most High sent, all right, are the parents, all right. Now, the false prophets, all right, they're not the parents. The true prophets are the parents, okay, that you must give heed to, okay, because if you're born again, right, those who are born again have parents, spiritual parents, okay, and the spiritual parents are the men of the Lord that the Most High God called and chose from before the beginning of time, all right, to do the teaching, right? Remember, it says we are ambassadors, and the only ones that's the ambassadors sent by the Most High God, the authorized messengers, right, is the 144, right? And it says that no man could learn that song but the 144,000, and there was no guile, no lie found in their mouth, because it's the Most High that speaks through them, right? And you must give heed to them, because if you're giving heed to somebody else, well, just like it talks about in this Acts chapter 5, right? Acts, let's go to this Acts. Acts chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse 29. I'm gonna jump around. It says Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men, right? Jumping down to verse 33. It says, when they heard that, they were cut to the heart. So here it is, the true men of the Lord, man, the truth was always cutting those who didn't believe in the truth. You see? And so it says, and when they heard that, they were cut to the heart by the words, the truth that the disciples turned apostles was speaking. And they took counsel to slay them. They wanted to slay the apostles because they were speaking the truth, right? Verse 34, it says, then stood there up in the council a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. All right, talking about the disciples turned apostles, the true men of the Lord. He said, hey, be careful what you do, what you plan on doing with them, right? Because he was saying, like, man, if they the men of the Lord, man, and y'all messing with them, y'all gonna get jacked up. He was like, because if they not the men of the Lord, it'll tell in due time, right? So here's the point. So it says, verse 35, and he said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. For behold, for before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves. So here go this guy Theudas, a teacher of some false doctrine, right? A teacher of some false doctrine, boasting himself to be some great one, some teacher of the Most High God, right? He was boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves. So they followed him. They gave heed to this false prophet, right? It says about 400 joined themselves, who was slain. So Theudas was slain. And all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught. You see, those who teach a false doctrine ultimately gonna be brought to naught, right? So that's why it's important to give heed to those who speak in 100% truth. That's why it's important to give heed to those who the Most High have called and chose and is speaking through. You see, the majority of the people gonna hate the true men of the Lord. But those that slated for salvation, they gonna love the true men of the Lord. You see? And those who slated for salvation is the few compared to the many that is the non-elect. You see? So it says, after this man rose up Judas. So here it is, Gamaliel is telling you of another false prophet who was speaking another false doctrine. And this man rose up, after this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. So this dude, Judas, all right, had people following him and his doctrine. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. You see, Judas and this guy Judas and this guy Theudas, all right, they were speaking wisdom of men and not the power of God. You see, that's why, again, that scripture, that 1 Corinthians 2:5, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. You see, because again, the wisdom of men, anybody just could, boast themselves to be somebody. Anybody could just take a couple dollars and go to this seminary school and, go to the courses and now say, hey, I got this piece of paper and I'm Dr. Reverend, anybody could do that. You see, but those are the false prophets that's going to ultimately come to naught. Right? But the true men of the Lord, all right? Matter of fact, let's keep reading, because it says in verse 38, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men. All right, talking about the true men of the Lord, the apostles, right? And let them alone. For if this counsel or if this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it. Least happily ye be found even to fight against God. Now remember that, what was that? That first Corinthians 15:20, I believe it was, where it says we are ambassadors, all right, for Yahushua, as though the Most High did beseech you by us, as though the Most High God himself taught you, warned you by us, the men of the Lord. You see? And if you're rejecting and mocking and scoffing us, all right, and this truth that we're speaking, you're mocking the Most High God. So it says, but if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, least happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High God. And so here it is, this Vocab Malone character is going to find out that the joke was on him. and that he was mocking and scoffing the Most High God the whole time. All right, he's gonna find that out. He get to mock and joke and scoff and do all these things right now. You see, he's earning what he's about to get. You see that wrath of the Lord that he's gonna get. It says every idle word, right, man shall give account of. You see? So again, let's hear this again. All right, because again, this is on his channel, this scoffer, Vocab Malone's channel, all right? And he's not promoting it. He's scoffing it. He's mocking. So let's play it again. This is biblical, all right? This is what the true men of the Lord will speak, because it's the Most High God that speaks through the true men of the Lord. Right. And if you're not a true man of the Lord and you're not saying that you have 100% truth, then basically what you saying, well, I got a little bit of lies. No. All right. The Most High God, when he speak, all right, he's telling you the truth, the 100% truth. The Most High, we read it throughout the scriptures. He speaks through his men. It's just as simple as that. He speaks through his men. All right. And so you must give heed, all right, to the true men of the Lord. That's why in that St. John, 13 and 20, how the Lord said, hey, to receive me, you must receive who I sent first. And then you receive me. And then if you receive me, you receive him that sent me. See, it's an order. You first got to receive, and this, you all got to humble yourselves, because that's why it talks about in that St. John, all right, going up another way, you a thief and a robber, all right, if you don't go through the way that the Most High say come through, all right, the door, which is Yahushua, and Yahushua said he sent men that you must receive first before you even can receive him. This is the first principles of the oracles of the Most High God, man, that you got to humble yourself, all right? And we're humbling ourselves to the will and the structure of the Most High God, man. All right. And to the men that he set up, he called, he's speaking through. Okay. You following anyone else, all right, then you're going to see that that's going to come to naught. All right. But the true men of the Lord, they're going to be saying things like this. This is a telltale sign. All right. Of who might be the true men of the Lord. So while he mocking and scoffing what the elder said, you can see that it's biblical. All right. It's what the true men of the Lord have said. All right. It will say and is saying. You see? One more again and I'm out. That's it. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, Shalom, and Abba Kwam Yashala.